Hello gold farmers, welcome to another Going Out Farming video. Today we'll be taking a look at the top 5 tailoring and enchanting shuffle. The reason why I am considering it both tailoring and enchanting is because I do have some just regular tailoring shuffles, and I didn't really want to get those confused with a couple of other things. So to start things off with, there are some macros that you can actually use for disenchanting, which I love using. I use them all the time, and all you have to do is do /cast disenchant and then /use, and then whichever crafted material that you are wanting to use. I have heard that you can use this on other items that drop, like world drop items and all of that, but it's a little bit harder because they have different prefixes. So you'd have to create a macro, which macros can only have up to 4 lines, I believe it is, before they stop working. Or they can have only 3 uses. I don't know exactly how all of that works, but you'd have to create a couple different macros to fit all of the prefixes in. So I just recommend that you use the macros on crafted materials. The first shuffle that we will be looking at is the linen cloth shuffle. This is one of my favorite ones, mostly just because linen cloth is really cheap and it is really easy to get your hands on if you are leveling new characters or wanting to farm or anything like that. But you will want to craft the brown linen pants, and from there you will do the disenchanting part, which I don't know if I have this set up right. I don't have the pants set up in my macro, but I do recommend that you craft the brown linen pants for this. And as you can see, it's not really, you're not really making a whole lot of gold off of it, but if you have linen cloth kind of just sitting around in your tailor or something and you want to make a little bit of extra gold off of the linen cloth, then I highly recommend that you use this shuffle. I don't really recommend that you go out and buy a whole bunch of linen cloth off the auction house like what I did. Usually when I am bored, this is what I refer to. I'll just kind of buy a bunch of different types of cloth off the auction house, not just linen cloth. It's a bunch of them that I use for a bunch of different shuffles, and that is just because I don't really have a reason for it. I just like to do these shuffles and try to keep myself a little busy if I am bored. The next shuffle we will be looking at is the, I actually forget, it should be the rune cloth shuffle, or no, it's the mage reef shuffle, which there are a couple of different things that you can craft with the mage reef. I highly recommend that you use the white bandit mask, which you will have to buy that recipe off the auction house, but it is by far the best one. If you don't have that, or for some reason you can't find it on the auction house, you can switch over to the black mage reef headband, which doesn't work as well, but it is still kind of nice. The white bandit mask only uses one of the mage weave cloth, or one bolt of mage weave, which makes this very profitable because it takes very little mage weave to craft it. It takes 4 mage weave to craft one bolt, and the 4 mage weave costs maybe a gold. So you're spending about 1 gold to craft this white bandit mask, which when you disenchant it, again, I don't have the macro set up for this. I have messed around quite a bit with my macros, and it looks like it is set up in my linen cloth one for some reason. And Blizzard did change all of the old dusts, so you will be getting this slight illusion dust but still you spend maybe one, maybe two, depending on your server gold, to craft this white bandit's mask, and one of the white illusion dust is selling for a gold, and you're getting anywhere from 4 to 5 of the white illusion dust, so you're making a pretty decent profit off of the Mage Weave Cloth Shuffle. The next shuffle we will be looking at will be the Rune Cloth Shuffle, and this one is a little bit more expensive than the Mage Weave one, but it still should give you a decent profit off of it. You will want to craft the, if I can find them, the Rune Cloth Belt. It takes 3 bolts of Rune Cloth, which the bolt of Rune Cloth, if you were to craft your regular Rune Cloth and all of that into regular ones, it should cost you roughly 3 gold in total to craft a full bolt. So you're spending about 3 gold on just one of these belts. And a lot like the Mage Weave Shuffle, you're making a pretty decent profit off of it. And I do need to fix my macros. The difference between the Mage Weave Shuffle though and the Rune Cloth Shuffle is, instead of getting the light illusion dust, you get the rich illusion dust, which is selling for about 6 gold per unit. Unfortunately though, you only get 1 to 2. I believe you have a chance of getting 3 off of disenchanting. Yep, you have a chance of getting 3 off of disenchanting this Rune Cloth belt. So you are still making a pretty good profit off of this. Another thing that is nice though is if you just click this, you can turn the rich illusion dust into your light illusion dust, which that's not really worth it, so I wouldn't really recommend doing that, but if you do need to use it for anything, then you can go ahead and do it that way. The next shuffle we will be looking at is the Netherreef Shuffle. This is one that I really love using because I used to run Karazhan all the time, and I would turn all of the Netherweave into bolts, and then I would use this shuffle. You'll want to craft the Netherweave bracers, and the Netherweave bracers take about 3 of the Netherweave bolts, which is pretty cheap. Again, like Rune Cloth and Mage Weave, Netherweave is a very cheap cloth to get your hands on. It's really easy to get, so you're not going to be spending a whole lot of gold crafting this Netherweave bracers. It should be roughly probably 5 gold, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've actually bought Netherweave, so I can't say for sure. But if you get about, if you craft the Netherweave bracers for about 5 gold each, you should definitely be able to make your gold back from it. It's not as profitable as the Rune Cloth or Mage Weave Shuffle, but it is still profitable and a great way to make a little bit of extra gold from your Burning Crusade farms, such as Karazhan or any kind of raids from the Burning Crusade. Our last shuffle is the famous Amber Silk Shuffle. This one is by far my favorite and the most profitable. I usually craft the Death Silk bracers, but I've heard that you should craft the Spiritman bracers just because I've heard that it yields more. I've tried both and I personally like the Death Silk, but that could all be wrong. I don't really recommend you buy your Amber Silk. I recommend that you use the Potion of Treasure Finding, which I did go over a guide for which dungeons and raids that I highly recommend you use the Potion of Treasure Finding on. And I did give a couple more tips in that video as well, so I do highly recommend that you check that video out when you get a chance. But a lot of these shuffles are very profitable. The Amber Silk shuffle, you'll be spending roughly, if I remember correctly, again, I don't really buy Amber Silk off the auction house, and I don't typically sell it either, because I use it all for this shuffle. But you would be spending roughly 20 gold, I believe, to craft this Death Silk belt, and the Hypnotic Dust itself is selling for 30 gold a piece, and it has a fairly high sell rate as well. The Hypnotic Dust is used to craft your Amber Silk bags, which it also takes Amber Silk cloth as well. So that bag is a little pricey and all of that, and that is why Hypnotic Dust is selling for as much as it is. But the Amber Silk Shuffle is by far my most profitable one, and my favorite one. Again, if you want to find decent locations to farm Amber Silk so you can enjoy that Amber Silk Shuffle, then I highly recommend that you watch the top 5 instance locations to use the Potion of Treasure Finding. That will be all, so thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.